Hey, thanks for tuning in to another presentation of this night, which is this is Thursday, and we have another presentation. Tonight's presentation is the erasure of traditional gender norms or evolution or agenda. And this is the topic that Mr. AMIR wanted to bring up. Nicole, is that you? I see you driving down the street.
Yeah, it's me. Can you guys hear me?
Say that one more time.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
You can't hear me?
I can hear
good.
you.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Yeah, okay. I see you.
I'm on the road.
Yeah, you're on the road. Yeah.
Let the people see the streets of Sacramento.
Yeah, the people are seeing the streets of Sacramento. Yeah, well, this is a topic that our colleague, Mr. AMIR, decided to delve into, and I think he thought probably it's a topic that maybe or maybe not interest Nicole. You.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is my type of thing for sure.
Okay, your type of thing. Okay. Yeah, well, we haven't got a chance. He hasn't tuned in yet. He's probably over there watching the Sacramento Kings play. Yeah. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, he's in traffic and he ain't even here.
No, here he is right here. He's coming in right now. What's up, Mr. AMIR? How you doing today? Yesterday he tuned in and we had one of these.
You guys were doing the game yesterday, right?
We did the game yesterday, right? We did it live yesterday, and there were some issues with his being able to hear him, and so maybe that might be the same thing that's going on right now. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't hear it.
I just got in. You should be able to hear me.
Oh yeah, we hear you now.
Loud and clear. Yeah. So yeah, this is tonight's topic once again is the erasure of traditional gender norms, evolution or agenda, which is very interesting because the last part is the agenda part, which is kind of Is this what?
Which is what I agree with.
Oh, that's what you agree with, huh, Nicole?
I think it's more agenda than evolution. Yeah, I don't think we're evolving into men being women and women being men. I think it's more of the agenda.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree myself. I think that it is part of the agenda, especially when it comes down to taking on a certain gender. I'm saying let me before I even start, let me emphatically say that when it comes to being attracted to the opposite or the same sex, I should say, I find that I'm not. That's nothing in my mind. It's that just the thought of it. It kind of turns me in a different direction. So that's not me at all. Just to be clear. And so, I just want to make sure that's understood because this topic, somebody may ask my opinion. So I'm telling you my opinion right off that I definitely do not.
You don't like boys?
Sign up.
I think that's what you're saying.
At all. Yeah, men, period. Yeah, boys, men, whatever.
Audio sounds bad.
Say that one more time.
Is that AMIR's audio?
AMIR just spoke. He was speaking a moment ago when he said his
we can't hear you, AMIR.
Yeah, I didn't. Can you hear me now? I didn't say anything. I just said.
Yeah, you said something about the boys. The last thing
you don't like boys.
Right, you don't like boys. Exactly right. Exactly. That was the last comment that he made. Yeah, so it's like I guess You know, some people do, some people don't. But I knew I liked women, females when I was like 4. I knew I liked females. You know, so there was nothing that I found more curious about than females. So you know that was.
But it's not the topic tonight.
It's not a gay
just
topic.
about like gay or straight. It's more because these men can like women, but they might also look like a woman. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Is that what we're talking about?
Well, we're gonna put up the thumbnail once again. We're gonna put up the thumbnail so we can see what we're talking about. That's the thumbnail right there. So the question is: Are all those men, or the one to the far right? Is that supposed to be a woman? Are all these men?
No.
Yeah, I think those are. I thought they were all men.
So the one all the way to the right, is that a man or a woman? The one that's all the way to the right.
That's a woman.
That's a woman. Okay, there you go. That's a woman. There you go. Yeah, she looks like she could be a strong-looking woman. Yeah. So the one all the way to the left, and that's because it got a mustache. Is that a man or a woman?
That's a man.
That's a man. Okay, all right. So we got it. You know, just making sure. You know, so when it comes down to these gender roles, and you know, like the picture depicted, you know, I do see that quite a bit now, but I don't. You know, I just kind of sort of look at it. So so the topic is. You know, I'm gonna let you and Nicole, you and AMIR talk. Go ahead. I'm just gonna be the executive producer and try to look up any kind of footage you want. Yeah, right. There was that as well. But I'm gonna look up footage. You know, you all tell me to look up what kind of footage you want to see, and I'll see if I can find it on the internet. It's your show.
Well, AMIR, it's your topic. Kick it off.
Oh man. Okay. Are you driving? Is that a live shot of you?
No, that's her driving. She's driving.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay, Nicole?
No. It cuts out when you start talking. Is that just on my side? Is it just me that it cuts out on?
Well, I hear him, but you know, it's I mean, I can hear him, but it's not always clear. But I can hear him.
All right. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, I don't even hear him. It cuts out.
Okay.
All
right. Okay. Well, you know, until he comes back, you know, we'll.
So my thoughts on it. I'll give my thoughts while we're waiting. Oh, were you gonna show a video?
Well, I was basically well, I can go ahead and take a look at a few things while you all are doing what you need to do. And I'll fill in the blanks while we're making the adjustments needed. But yeah, so what we have here, of course, is the depiction in this particular picture. We'll talk about these genders, you know, as displayed on the for clarity, and basically we want to make sure that we understand that every gender identity explained. So here's a picture here where there's some explanation about the genders, and it's explained here. Let me find this right here real quick here. This particular picture right here, very interesting. Every gender identity explained in 10 minutes. So we got the female, male, intersex. We have the non-binary. Well, I never heard that before. Gender queer, gender fluff, agender, bigender, transgender, demo boy, girl, panagender, androgen. I never heard that before. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I can't even say that word. Within gender non-conformation, confirmation, or something like that. I think that's what that says. Can't really see it. But yeah. And it says watch the video. So it says explain in 10 minutes. So let's go over here and see if we can see what they're talking about.
Or girls, typically aligning with the sex assigned at birth as female. Intersex refers to individuals born with variations in sex characteristics that do not fit typical definitions of male or female. Intersex variations can involve chromosomes, gonads, sex hormones, or genitalia. Non-binary describes individuals whose gender identity does not fit exclusively within the categories of male or female. Non-binary individuals may identify as a combination of both genders, either gender or as a different gender entirely. Genderqueer, a term used to describe individuals who reject traditional gender distinctions and identify as neither exclusively male nor female or as a combination of both. Genderfluid describes individuals whose gender identity may change or fluctuate over time. They may feel more masculine, feminine, or non-binary at different times. Agender refers to individuals who do not identify with any gender or experience a lack of gender identity. They may feel a sense of neutrality or absence of gender. Bigender describes individuals who identify as having two distinct gender identities, either simultaneously or shifting between them. Trigender refers to individuals who identify as having three distinct gender identities, either simultaneously or shifting between them. Demiboy, a gender identity where an individual partially but not wholly identifies as a boy or man. Demigirl. Similar but on the opposite side of demiboy, it's an identity where an individual only partially identifies as a girl or a woman. Pangender. A gender identity where an individual identifies with all genders or experiences a wide range of gender identities, potentially fluidly or simultaneously. Androgyne. A gender identity where an individual's gender expression or identity incorporates both masculine and feminine characteristics, or they may identify as being neither distinctly masculine nor feminine. Demiandrogyne describes individuals whose gender identity is partially androgynous, but not wholly so. Two-spirit, a term originating from indigenous North American cultures, referring to individuals who embody both masculine and feminine qualities, often within a spiritual context. Gender non-conforming describes individuals whose gender expression or identity does not conform to societal expectations or norms associated with their assigned sex at birth. Transgender describes individuals whose gender identity differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. This can include a wide range of gender identities, including binary and non-binary identities. Transman, a transgender individual who was assigned female at birth, but identifies and lives as a man. Transwoman, a transgender individual who was assigned male at birth, but identifies and lives as a woman. Neutroa, a non-binary gender identity where an individual identifies as neutral or null gender, experiencing a lack of gender identity or feeling neutral in terms of gender. Third gender, a category encompassing gender identities that do not fit within the traditional binary of male and female. Quagender, a term used by some individuals to indicate that their gender identity is indescribable or unable to be categorized. It may convey a sense of uncertainty or ambiguity regarding one's gender identity. Questioning describes individuals who are exploring or questioning their gender identity. They may be uncertain about their gender and are in the process of self-discovery and exploration. Gender flux describes individuals whose gender identity fluctuates in intensity or magnitude over time. They may experience periods of feeling strongly aligned with a particular gender, while at other times, their connection to that gender may weaken or fluctuate. Demiflux, a gender identity where an individual partially, but not wholly, identifies as a particular gender, and the intensity of this identification fluctuates. Maverick, a non-binary gender identity characterized by a strong sense of independence from the binary gender system. Gray gender describes individuals who have a partial connection to a specific gender, but feel as though their connection is weak, indistinct, or undefined. Nova gender, a gender identity where an individual feels as though their gender is a new, unique, entirely separate identity that is not defined by existing gender categories or experiences. Polygender describes individuals who identify with multiple genders simultaneously or over time. This can involve experiencing more than one gender at the same time or shifting between different genders at different times. Virgender, a gender identity where an individual feels a strong sense of attachment to a specific gender, but that attachment is fragile or easily influenced by external factors. Aprogender.
Oh my God.
Individuals who have a strong sense of identifying as a particular gender, but that identification is separate from their assigned sex at birth and may not align with traditional understandings of gender. Gender queer flux describes individuals whose gender identity is both genderqueer, rejecting traditional gender distinctions, and gender flux, experiencing fluctuating intensity or magnitude of their gender identity. Cisgender describes individuals whose gender identity aligns with the sex they were assigned at birth. Ciswoman refers to a person who was assigned female at birth and identifies as a woman. Cismon refers to a person who was assigned male at birth and identifies as a man. Genderless, referring to the condition of lacking a gender. Being genderless entails experiencing a total absence of gender identity. Agender refers to individuals who identify as having a gender that is neutral, indicating a lack of association with either male or female identities. Genderless pertains to not aligning with or comprehending the notion of gender. Epicene refers to individuals whose
Isn't that enough video?
is androgynous or neutral, lacking distinctly masculine or feminine characteristics. Amigender,
That's quite
who
enough.
identify with or experience two genders simultaneously or in a fluid manner. Their gender identity may be ambiguous or multifaceted. Intergender describes individuals who identify with or experience a combination of different genders, either simultaneously or at different times. They may experience their gender identity as a blend of masculine, feminine, or other gender qualities. Transmasculine describes individuals who were assigned female at birth, but identify and present themselves as more masculine or male-aligned. They may or may not pursue medical interventions such as hormone therapy or surgeries to align their bodies with their gender identity. Transfeminine describes individuals who were assigned male at birth, but identify and present themselves as more feminine or female-aligned. They may or may not pursue medical interventions such as hormone therapy or surgeries to align their bodies with their gender identity. Transneutral describes individuals whose gender identity is neutral or lacks alignment with traditional gender categories. They may identify outside of the binary of male and female, experiencing a sense of neutrality or lack of gender identity. Femme, typically used to describe individuals who present themselves with characteristics culturally associated with femininity. It is often used within the LGBTQ+ community to describe feminine-presenting individuals, regardless of their gender identity. Masc, short for masculine, it's used to describe individuals who present themselves with characteristics culturally associated with masculinity. It is often used within the LGBTQ+ community to describe masculine-presenting individuals, regardless of their gender identity. Gender variant describes individuals whose gender expression or identity varies from the societal norms associated with their assigned sex at birth. Alaya-gender describes individuals who feel detached or separate from their gender identity, as if it is not their true gender but they still have one. Libra-gender describes individuals who experience their gender as fluctuating between a gender, lack of gender, and another gender. Abimagender describes individuals who feel as if their gender identity is impossible to describe or explain due to its complexity or depth. Amaragender describes individuals whose gender identity changes based on who they're in love with. Gyrogender describes individuals whose gender identity fluctuates and moves in a circular pattern. Juxera, a gender identity tied to female characteristics, but it's unique compared to how most women experience their connection to femininity. Proxphere describes individuals whose gender identity is almost entirely masculine but not quite, with other influences present. Plural gender describes individuals who experience multiple gender identities simultaneously, often within a plural system, such as those who are part of multiple personality systems. Cisgender describes individuals whose gender identity feels split, fragmented, or divided into multiple parts. Fagender describes individuals whose gender identity is influenced by or connected to fairy-like qualities or concepts. Lyrogender, a gender identity that feels melodious or harmonious, like music or a song.
All right. So I guess we'll have to determine what gender we be talking about. I don't know. I mean, I seen something that looks similar, but I'm not sure exactly what type of gender we're talking about. So what did you glean from that video, AMIR, if anything?
That was a lot. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine. Yeah, it was a lot. Actually, it was a lot of stuff that I never even heard of. But it definitely was impactful as well as educational, because it definitely went through a lot of different gender identities about people that I really never even thought about. I thought it was a little bit more simple, a little simpler than that. Apparently, it's a lot more complex than even I realized. So, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was a good shit. Put it on the video, and then people think that shit real.
Okay. I kind of sort of heard you, but your audio keeps got a little twang to it. I'm not sure what that is, but it has a little twang. Are you talking on a headset, or are you talking on into your phone?
I'm talking on my phone, right?
Okay.
Ever since
I can hear you better now. If that's what you're doing, talking into your phone. But yeah, I see that there's a lot of different layers to this gender identity. Obviously, with the video, etc., says that there's a lot of different, levels to this identity as far as gender roles is concerned. Let's take a look and see if we can find something like the basic gender roles. See if we can identify with that a little bit better. That might give us a little bit better role in terms of the this gender roles. Okay, so we'll take a look at this in a second. We're going to take a look at gender roles and norms and and how do they affect children. So just take a look at that for a second here, and we'll make a few comments on that as well. Okay, here we go. And we're about ready to get started on that here. So we'll share that with this on the screen here. And here we go. Gender roles and norms. What are they and how do they affect children? That's what we really need to take a look at. See why this is affecting children. Okay, so we'll go over here. And this is by the United Way, May 19, 2023. And they write by United Way, NCA. and gender norms are deeply ingrained in our society and can significantly impact individuals, particularly children. Restrictive gender norms often limit children's potential and opportunities, affecting their self esteem and mental health and shape their relationships with peers. Gender roles and norms can be particularly detrimental to those living in poverty, as well as the least asset, limited income, constraint employed population. As these societal expectations perpetrate uh, cycles of inequality and limit access to resources and opportunities. For instance, according to the 2023 ALICE reports, single mothers in the United States are more likely to live in poverty due to gender discrimination and limited access to affordable childcare. We must challenge harmful gender roles and norms to create a more equitable and inclusive world for future generations. And it goes on to say, with our gender roles, gender roles are societal expectations and roles regarding how men and women should behave, express themselves, and interact with others according to their gender. Media, socialization, and cultural contribute to, oh, excuse me, it says um, media, socialization, and culture, I think I said that, contribute to the development of gender norms, and they differ across time and place. Gender socialization is one of the primary ways gender norms affect children. Gender socialization refers to how children learn that appreciate appropriate behavior, appearance, and attitudes for their gender. For example, boys learn to be assertive, competitive, and independent, while girls are encouraged to be nurturing, emotional, and compliant. These gender messages can shape children's self concept, beliefs, and expectations about themselves and others. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much how I see gender. But it goes on to say research suggests that adherence to gender roles can negatively influence a child's mental health, social development, and academic performance. For instance, boys who feel pressure to conform to traditional masculine gender roles and standards may be less likely to seek help for emotional problems or engage in pro-social behavior. On the other hand, girls who internalize restrictive feminine gender roles may experience lower self-esteem and limited leadership opportunities. And it goes on a little further. But before we go on that, let's talk about this for a second. Um, so, what do you feel? What do you think about this so far, Mr. Amir? Since this is your
So far, this is like I know this is like something that you haven't heard of. I can tell, but this is basically what we're talking about, the agenda of this rhetoric right here that they're talking about. It's insane. If you write something decently, you can convince people that this is a real thing. But it's got a lot of people confused.
Right. That's what it says. It does say, it talks about, boys and girls that associate with different, as far as what they identify themselves with. It says, for example, we'll go back and look at this 1 second. With the writings, they said, here's an example. Let's read the example. Gender norms are pervasive in society and are identifiable in various aspects of our lives, including media, education, and family. Here are some examples of gender norms in each of these areas. Media. Many TV shows and movies feature predominantly male protagonists who are strong, dominant, and aggressive while portraying female characters as emotional, dependent, and sexualized. Commercials and advertisements often use gender stereotypes to sell products, such as associating men with sports and outdoor activities, and women with beauty and domesticity. In video games, male characters are heroic and violent, while female characters are hypersexualized and serve as objects of men's of male desire. Male desire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do we think about that? Oh, look like we lost Miss Nicole, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, you scared her away with that video.
Say that one more time. Scared her away with that video.
Scared her away with that video.
Yeah, with the video, let's it's you have to. I mean, when you start talking about this particular subject, there's no just talking about it is one thing, but actually understanding what you're talking about is another. So we don't have to fact find when we start talking about gender roles. If somebody wants to talk about something, let's say, for example, we got a comment, and they wanted to comment about one of those gender identifications. I couldn't respond, and so that's why I thought that was a good idea to play that particular video, because it lets you know exactly what this gender identification is all about, which is way more than I would have even guessed. Okay, so the topic is not mine, but I'm just trying to help the topic along the way, And so, yeah, this is one of the things that when we start doing these things, people are like, what are you guys talking about? Do you even know what you're talking about? So that's the most important thing, that we at least research.
What are you talking about? My bad.
I couldn't understand what you said.
My bad, I was in the Danish. No, I'm saying, I know about all that stuff that you
okay. There you go. Well, I don't. So I'm going to let you take the floor, and you can give your take on it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was a good refresher, but yeah, basically, there's a tone in there too that I want to touch on. How they talked about how men versus women are portrayed in the media. Did you catch that?
I did.
So they try to like intertwine. This is what upsets me about this and that gay shit. They intertwine the difference between they intertwine the oppression of women and gay people with the oppression of black people, which are two completely different things.
Yeah.
Because gay people are completely different from straight people, and women are completely different from men.
Okay.
So when you portray it, when you're engaging in they call it I forget the word. But you're putting out images and messages for a particular agenda. That's not that. Damn. I got my thoughts. I'm a little frazzled. You know how they portray how we portray women to be domesticated and to be beautiful, and men to be strong and brave. And that's just what the fuck we are,
Mm-hmm.
Men, all the characteristics they named are accurate depictions of what women and men are, and compared, on the median level at least.
Okay.
So they try to use that. They try to use the same narrative that people talk about when it comes to black people and the oppression of black people, to try to parallel that with the oppression of women and the oppressive nature of identity. I mean, gender identity, which is sinister, and it's diabolical.
Okay.
And then these kids are growing up And then people with impressionable minds would read something like that. A lot of Democrats, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of Democrats, single mothers, who on that side. Not just single mothers either, but women are typically more impressionable.
Okay.
And they're teaching their kids, or they're allowing their kids to subscribe to these type of ideals or these type of new ways of thinking, this progressive, innovative way of thinking. That's how they frame it, and turn boys into girls and girls into boys.
Okay.
It's okay for a boy to wear fingernail polish. It's okay for a girl to think that she can beat up a boy. Mm-hmm. This shit happens to me all the time. Girls be really thinking they can beat up boys. Women think they can beat up men these days. They think that we're the same. They think it's a social construct that told them and me that I was stronger than them. And then some girls have gotten fucked up over these type of thinking. This is dangerous thinking.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, I do agree with that. There are some women who have been taught to be aggressive to their own detriment, for sure.
Yeah,
and
the women and men, little boys, been told to be vulnerable and express yourself, and don't you gotta let it out. Don't be toxically masculine. Mm-hmm. I have a thing called toxic masculinity. I don't know if you heard about this. But it's really it's an attack on masculinity. It's an attack on genders. It's an attack on femininity as well. Mm-hmm. And they're just fucking up the minds of the impressionable and messing up the world through propaganda. I don't know why I couldn't think of propaganda like this.
Mm-hmm. I agree. There's definitely some.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to finish the point about people, society telling young boys and young men, or boys and young men, that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to show your emotions. Otherwise, you're just going to build it up, and you're going to just be this powder keg ready to explode with toxic masculinity. But when boys do that, if you listen to that, you subscribe to that, you're not gonna get no breeding rights. Because women don't like that shit. They're gonna say they do, but they're lying. And they might be lying to themselves. You don't cry in front of your bitch, ever. Unless your mom died or some shit.
Okay.
Because that's gonna dry her up, and you don't want that.
Okay.
That's toxic masculinity talking right there.
Okay.
But I'm a breeder though, so figure it out, people. But yeah, that really I get passionate about that shit, and I got a little triggered by watching that shit too. Because my kids and my young life kids, they're being attacked with this type of propaganda, Mm-hmm. But we take care of ours. We handle that. But everybody ain't handling it. People letting their kids really subscribe to these ways of thinking, and it's dangerous.
I agree. There's a lot of talk about women saying that they, like for example, I don't know if you know the boxer named Carissa Shields, and she was talking about that she
can beat up that dude, disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She said
I can't remember the gentleman's name, the guy, but he's a professional boxer. I will beat Carissa Shields' ass. A lot of women won't believe that. A lot of people won't believe that. It's crazy how the minds have been manipulated. There's not one woman on this earth who I wouldn't absolutely demolish.
Okay.
But I'm not average though. So there's a lot of women out there that can beat up a lot of men, but that's such an anomalous thing. And they make it seem like it's commonplace. Like Yeah, women can fight men. No, women cannot fight men.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Well,
physical disadvantages outside of strength too. Reaction time, coordination, balance, all these things that men are superior, normally superior to women. Not a lot, not marginally better, but unfairly superior for them to be competing with one another physically.
right. Right.
So yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
they get hyped up by these videos, or the guys that sparring them, going easy on them, and they really think in their minds that they're really equally yoked to anybody that's anybody that she's boxing.
Right.
And putting them in a bad spot.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look and see how Carissa her get down. Let's see what she does.
Oh.
Hello.
This is Clarissa Shields, a multiple world champion in boxing and professional mixed martial arts. Her skills are real versus the average man.
She has been.
He just play the rest of that. Play the next 3 seconds of that.
I can play as much as you want, sir.
Like 3 seconds.
Probably whoop them around the canvas or give them a lot of trouble. She can fight, but here's the deal. She thinks she can fight and accomplish.
He said the average man. He said the average man she could probably, but that's not true. The average man will beat her ass. Well, okay, let's say the average boxer, that's a man, will absolutely destroy her. Because you got to remember too, there's a lot of pussy ass men that's walking around here being raised by those things that we were talking about a second ago. A lot of people don't fight no more either. So yeah, she could beat up the average man, but not the average man that knows a little anything about fighting.
Right.
She's dating Papoose. There's no way that Papoose wouldn't be able to whoop her ass. Because if he couldn't whoop her ass, then she wouldn't be dating him.
Right.
And Papoose is a rapper. He's average. He's kind of average. I mean, I don't know him like that, but
right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, the identification of what they say, for example, socialize their society. In other words, their environment says, okay, this neighborhood got 10 or 15 young girls that said we'll fight anybody, and so they take on that aggressive role, and go into and then, society says, well, we're tough, and their environment says we're tough, and so they become aggressive girls, and wearing saggy pants, and I see them all the time. It'd be two girls, one of them got their pants sagging like a guy.
Yeah, that's a whole different subject too.
Yeah, right. It is a whole different subject, but that's just how it is. I guess these days I don't subscribe to that type of identification, but it is what it is, right? But basically, it's an attack
against it's a psychological attack against the kids. So not something.
It is.
So it's a big deal. People need to say this. Well, we're just kicking the shit, but people need to start talking about this type of shit more.
Yeah.
People with influence. This is the type of energy that Trump be coming with too, and it's appreciated by a lot of people. But when you're talking about something so degenerative that makes Trump look good for saying that men are men and women are women, it's a sad state of affairs in the world.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's definitely something that needs to take a look at. Like let's take a look at this for a second.
People know this. The people that
Hold on, here we go. Just want to show this for a second. Just the two of us. We can make it if we just the two. Yeah, see, so those are some of the things that these guys are boxers. So these are some of the things that people don't mind publicly identifying themselves. We got two boxers getting ready to fight. One of them kisses the other in the left.
I don't know what that was. That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Absolutely was weird. But it's just something that came up when I doing the research on these topics on the internet.
I'm not gonna ask you,
huh?
It'll be a lot better if you did the research before we were live.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily knowing where we're going because I mean, once you all get a topic.
I'm guessing when I got cut off when I left. I'm guessing when I had to fix my phone. My phone was tripping. Right. But when I left, Nico said something, and then had you look that up, right?
Say that one more time.
When I left, Nicole said something that you looked up, and then that's where you got that video from, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, what happened was because this was she said to me, she said that this is the kind of topic she was interested in. I said, well, this is not I don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna let you and AMIR take over. And then she deferred to you. So I said, well,
right. And then my shit started messing up. And then when I came back, that video was on.
Yeah, it was no worries. I mean, it's just the fact that we had to fill in because I don't know, I don't know what's going on in terms of none of this stuff. So I'm just playing it, because here's my take on it. My take is, we have a show, so it doesn't matter, as long as it keeps rolling, because basically that's how people tune in. Eventually, they keep people tuning in more and more and more and seeing what these shows is about. So it doesn't really matter to me as far as what the topic is, because I do a show anyway. Besides this, I'm gonna do a show, that talks about some of the things that we're talking about. And Heisey McGrave says we must understand just a show of kindness. I would kiss men on the lips. I play pro sports, but not anyone. When I play sport, okay, he said. Let me say it again. We must understand just a show of kindness. I would kiss men on the lips when I play pro sports, but not anymore. Okay, that's what Heisey McGrave says. So yeah, yes.
Well, that doesn't make it okay, sir.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but my point is that we put this topic out. People want obviously it's something that I don't know anything about it. So of course when I talk about whatever, I know what I'm talking about. But again, that's not the show. Is not about me. It's about people who are interested in certain topics, and that's the reason why I'll try and find something that at least we can touch on what it is that we're talking about, because I don't know anything about any of this stuff as far as these different gender type roles. I had no idea it was that many. So if you're going to ask me a question about it, I couldn't tell you.
Because there's not that many. There's two.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, they showed a whole bunch.
But that's a controversial thing to say. It's controversial to say there's only two genders.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is. It's one's opinion about certain things, and that's why this particular subject, is way out of my purview. I don't know anything about it, But of course, we'll talk about it. That's not a problem. I just enjoy, putting on these shows. I'm starting to really, really have a good time. So hey, let me see. We got Heisey McGrave talking about. Tell me when he was a boy, I'd kiss him on the lips.
Okay. That's funny. That's funny. But that's not the same thing, though. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, right. He said, yeah, you should show King New Shoes. Peanut returns. Okay, all right.
I kiss my son on the lips. He's getting older now, so but that's normal. But we're talking about two men. And we're talking about advertising and broadcasting that, you know?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But
I don't talk about
like
bitches that I kiss.
Yeah, but once again, you know, when you start talking about certain things, uh, like on these programs, trust me, this video is going to be seen by someone, and they're going to want to know, hey, look, these guys. This is the first thing it is, right? Here's one thing about these shows: you have to immediately talk about. You have to really immediately show what you're talking about.
No. That's incorrect. They have to know before they click. The people that know what we're talking about, they're going to click on it.
Yeah, but you have to know as a content creator, you need to know right away to play
before the show.
No, do it right when you turn it on, right when the show comes on. You have to bring in what it is that you're talking about, and that's how you catch people. Keep them engaged. Yeah. See, you start talking about certain things. People say, well, we're supposed to be talking about what gender norms and evolution or agenda is about. So you have to immediately play that right away. Otherwise, they'll click off. They won't watch it.
No, they're gonna. That's not true, man. That's not true.
That is true because I did the research. I did the research on these YouTube channels. It's not me saying it; it's YouTube saying it because they know more about it than I do. I think they know about it than most people because they've been in this business, in this genre, in terms of these niches forever. Yeah, we're talking about Google, and Google's making more money. No, more people turn on to these YouTube stuff than any other platform.
Yeah,
any other platform. As a matter of fact, the owners of this platform, you don't even know who the owner is. They don't even advertise who the owner is. As opposed to Elon Musk, I got X. Mark Zuckerberg, I got Facebook. They don't even talk about the owners of this platform. It's the biggest one, but they'll tell you. Yeah, exactly. They'll tell you exactly what you're supposed to do to draw your audience in to engage longer. And if you start talking about, for example, in this case, the erasure of traditional gender norms or evolution or agenda, if you don't catch them immediately, you're like saying, these people don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about, this driving down the street, where's this person, where's that person? And they click off. Yeah, I've done this research. See, I don't care too much about this particular this topic is fine, but the topic, as a matter of fact, this topic is not even on Mouthpiece Sports. You go to Mouthpiece Sports and look at this, you won't see it because I didn't put it on Mouthpiece Sports. Okay, I put it on King by the King. No, hold on a second. Mouthpiece, it's on Mouthpiece Sports, it's not on King by the King Media TV. King Media TV is about boxing, primarily about sports. So you won't see it there. You can see it on Mouthpiece Sports because it's a conversation. I don't care about, having a conversation, but at least, for the audience to engage, you have to immediately start talking about what the headline implies, because that's what they wanted to see. And that's how you get the engagement. That's how you get the people returning to your channel and get the views. Yeah, this is YouTube talking, right? I'm paying attention to YouTube, so that's what I do. I try to catch them right away, So that's why I play the tape. Let's get to the tape, because if we don't get to the tape, they're gonna click off. Yeah, because they're not interested in anything but what the topic is, and the topic says the erasure of traditional gender norms, evolution, or agenda. And that tape that was just played is what said, okay, this is what this. Because somebody might say, my son or daughter is acting a certain way. Why? What are they identifying with? And then they can go and they'll see all that was just played. I just happened to just come across it, by the way. I ain't doing any research on it. But I looked at it and I said, I never seen anything like that, all this gender stuff. So that's the reason why I watched the video. So you have to understand what's going on. And this particular subject probably going to be watched more than what we think, okay? Based on the beginning of the video being told with educational purposes. And that's what you want. Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying, but again, this is not my topic. This is not my topic, but I enjoy going through it. That's all I do. I enjoy going through it. But I love sports. I love talking about sports. I love boxing. It's a man's sport. It's not a woman's sport, but women are doing it against each other, and I support them as well. Doing what they do, and so yeah. But I'm primarily a uh, man kind of guy that likes to watch man kind of stuff. That's it. But I do like learning things, and I just learned quite a bit today just by accident, because I would have probably never knew about all these different gender roles if I hadn't first, you hadn't brought up this particular type of topic. So, with that being said, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, which is always going to be AMIR.name. Keep us in business, keeping us relevant. So if you want to, opportunities, you want to collaborate with your friends through networks, successfully and through social media, cultivating careers through the internet, getting with colleagues for contacts and relationships to create communities. Of course, we always want to go and get that dollar, right? And remember, your network is your net worth. How building strong relationships can help you achieve financial success. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give us that thumbs up, like and comment the video. And once again, I'm Ted King. I call myself, and they call me the Double OG Group. And this is Mr. AMIR. Yeah. So I got some education, man. I really appreciate the fact that you brought this topic up. Because if you hadn't brought this topic up, man, I wouldn't know anything about this kind of stuff. But I learned something today. And I'm gonna go back and watch that other video, or watch this video actually, so I can see what those gender identifications are. Because I would have never.
They're not real.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I understand in your opinion they're not real, but somebody's opinion says that they are. I understand what you're saying, and that's fine. But someone got an opinion that says the identification of these genders are real. Although I side with you. I'm saying that's too much stuff for it to be real too. So let's not misconstrue what I'm saying as I believe that's real. Now I'm siding more with what you're saying than what they're saying. However, they do have an opinion about certain things because they had too much stuff in there for it to be something that I would say, yeah, this is what it is. No, it was too much. So it's not all the gender identification stuff is not what I believe is fact. But we want to make sure we get the content out there, because we want people to be educated. We give them an opportunity to get educated about certain things. Let me see what we got. We got Hassie McGrave giving another comment. He says, "Do people still have respect for their elders?" That's a good question.
Oh damn!
We may have to address that one day, and tell everyone about your YouTube post. All right, sir, I will do that. I appreciate you for tuning in. And if you got anything else to say, Mr. AMIR?
The answer is the question. Like people do still have respect for their elders, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, right. Well, that's true. I believe they do as well.
I think he felt like I was being disrespectful towards him, but I wasn't meaning to do that.
Right, exactly. Well, we do know everyone has, people have respect, and that's not goes without saying. And of course, we have respect for Mr. Hassie McRae when he makes a comment. I appreciate him tuning in. To be honest with you, and to make his comment, we're gonna post it. When he makes a comment, because we need to. I think interaction is good, and this is
he's not my elder. He's not my elder when he comments on it. We're characters out here. It's not.
Right, exactly. We're just We're just voicing our opinion. There's no disrespect any type of way. But yeah, I just love the fact that we can definitely learn some things from these videos. I appreciate the topic. I know nothing about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell a lie, act like I do. That's why I definitely need to see what was going on with this. And I'm sure the viewers watching the beginning of the film, beginning of this show, will learn some things as well. So if we don't have anything else, we'll end this show today with always. This is again Black History Month, so we're gonna go to our esteemed Martin Luther King for 30 seconds with this.
From every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And of course, we give a shout.
Must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. I shook up the world.
All right, Mr. AMIR, you got anything to add to it?
Well, that's gonna be it for me.
Okay, all right. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next one, peace and love. I'm WOG Guru Ted King, and he's
Mr. AMIR. Peace out.
All right, peace out.